Hey, what's going on, YouTubers? This is Zen from Zen Multiverse, and I hope you're having a great day. So we are back with some not information, but just really about my predictions for Dragon Ball Super manga chapter number 75. We already got information for 74, but I wanted to really break down my theories and predictions for what's to come next, and it really involves the techniques.
You will never amount to anything. We shall see, brother.
We don't really know about the techniques that Vegeta will have in his brand new form, but what we can do is predict and theorize what he will have. So one of the main things that I think is going to happen is that in his new God of Destruction base form, that he isn't going to really gain brand new techniques, but he's going to enhance the ones that he already has. Let's take a look at some pictures and discuss them. So the first one that I really think that needs an upgrade and improvement is the Gala Gun. One of the things that I talked about in my previous video is that he already had a purple aura, right? When it came to techniques and his ability to power up. And I think that his new God of Destruction base transformation is going to really enhance many of the techniques like the Gala Gun. And I think it may have a new name. One of the new names that I think it might be called is Galactic Destroyer. I think that's a pretty cool name. And again, this is just a theory for all of these technique names, but I think it's something that would make sense. It probably won't be the name of that, but I think I would really dig it if it is. The next technique here that we have is the Big Bang Attack. Now, with the Big Bang Attack, I think it's due for an upgrade, right? And if I was to name it, I would call it Big Bang Destroyer, right? Um, yeah, I think that's the best name that I've can't come up with it. Of course, many of these names just have the name Destroyer at the end, but it makes sense because of who Vegeta is now becoming in terms of his new transformations, right? The last technique that we have is one of the ones that we know and love, right? From seeing him do it against Cell is the Final Flash. So I'm going to bring a picture of the Final Flash and also my technique name for it, right? Uh, Final Flash, we already know it's a a destructive, already destroyer base technique in its own, but it's not fueled with God of Destruction base key, right? So if I was to give this technique a name, once he utilizes it in the transformation of, I would name it Final Destroyer, right? Again, all of these names have Destroyer next to it, but I think it's pretty cool to like theorize on what I think the technique names would be if he is going to gain brand new techniques, right? So we have Galactic Destroyer, we have Final Destroyer, and then lastly, for the Big Bang Attack, we have the evolution of it would be Big Bang Destroyer, right? We could surmise and say that some of these names will have the name Hakai in it, but I think Hakai is its own destruction move. So we could call it Final Hakai. We could have Gallic Hakai, but I think that name doesn't really like fit together. So I'm not too sure, right? But I think these are some of the names that Vegeta will have, and these are predictions, but if they are correct, right, you heard it here first, right? Now, in terms of plot development for predictions and theories, I simply think that Vegeta is going to beat Granola. I think he will beat Granola, and I think what's going to happen when he beats Granola is that he's going to beat him, but they're going to make a truce of some sorts, right? And Vegeta is basically going to say like, I told you, like I'm not the bad guy. We've never been the bad guy, but you're pretty strong, but you need to train. And Granola is basically going to say his plight and his reasoning behind things. But I think what's going to happen is that 7-3, right? OG 7-3, and someone in the comment section in my previous video had a theory very similar that OG 7-3 is still there, right? And I think what they're going to use is um, they're going to replicate and make an army of them, but Vegeta, Granola, and Goku are going to team up together to go against them. One of the things that I hope does not happen, but it may happen, is that one of the 7-3s, right? It could be one of the newer versions of 7-3 or the OG version is going to get a chance to tap into Granola's ability. And we already know that Granola was already involved with the 7-3s, where we could see in previous chapters, but I think the Heaters are going to take control of 7-3 and the rest of that replicated army, and they're going to utilize it to go against Granola, Goku, and Vegeta eventually. And that's just the prediction that I have here. And they're going to need to really train. Now, all three of them are going to have to train. And I think that's because when I'm looking at Granola, and I don't mean to to have any biases, but I do have a bias. He doesn't look like a bad guy. I'm sorry. He doesn't have that feeling of a bad guy. He has the feeling of someone who's confused, wants revenge, but will be swayed easily to become a good guy eventually. And I hope that's what's going to happen. But anyway, I have even more theories, but I'm going to leave it for another video. But with that being said, this is Zen from Zen Multiverse saying peace, love, and prosperity. If you have theories for the next chapter of Dragon Ball Super manga number 75, let me know in the comments section. Later, everyone.